Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. This is A Life Well Spent. My name is Kelly, and on this channel, I'm documenting my financial journey. I share with you my real numbers, so my real income, what I'm really spending my money on, real net worth, things like that. Today is a monthly budget video, so you'll see what my plan for March is. I typically have my budget done before the start of a month, but it is March 5th today. I'm a little behind on just actually recording it, which also means I'm very behind on my transactions and things like that, because I didn't wanna have them in here and then, like, not have a blank budget, so that's where we're at. So we'll just get right into the budget. Okay, so when we get into the budget here, my income that I'm budgeting is $3,693. That's what I'm expecting to get in 2 paychecks. It is a 3 paycheck month for some people, but not me. Mine are, I think, May and November this year. My mother is getting 3 paychecks, though. She's very excited. In fact, she just went down to part-time, and she thought about it and was like, "Man, if I had realized that this was gonna be a 3 pay month, like, I might have just worked full-time a little bit longer to get that extra money." So, gotta think ahead and plan sometimes, although I think she's perfectly happy working part-time. My mom's gonna give me about $105, and that actually goes towards, a brokerage account. She puts, $50 and then I put $50, so it comes out of mine because she gives it to me and I put it in, um, for a brokerage account for my niece, and then we split some things, like, we're on the same cell phone plan, and we split some subscriptions and things like that, so that's her share of all of those things. Um, so, yeah, I'm not expecting any miscellaneous income. I don't usually put anything in there. Like, if I'm expecting my tax return or something, I might put it in. But sometimes, like, you never really know when that's gonna come in, so I may or may not be able to plan for it anyway. I actually got my tax return last month, so it's sort of irrelevant here, but, um, you know, things that typically go in there, like if I'm gonna use gift cards, if I know that I'm gonna return some items, like, I might be able to put them in there, but I'm fine with not budgeting it and just, recording it and having extra income I wasn't really expecting. So, mortgage, this is my principal, interest, currently PMI, and then escrow, like insurance and taxes and things like that. That's $688.77. My electric bill this month is $47.88. My natural gas is $130.23. And that's actually lower than it's been in the past because it's actually kind of warm. Like, I'm not using heat nearly as much. Um, but it's typically high in the winter for me because I do a lot of, like, braises and stews, and I have a gas stove and a gas oven. So that really does jack the price of that up, and I have an old house that does not stay as insulated. It's not very well insulated. It should definitely be more insulated. I'm just kind of gauging for, like, 3 months is when it's really bad, and trying to decide, like, whether that's really worth the cost of the insulation. Like, it would take me many years to get the money back. So, I don't know. If I were gonna stay here the rest of my life, I think I would, but I don't plan to, so I'm probably not going to. Sewer, $63, that's a flat rate. Water, 18.98, that's not really a flat rate, but that is the minimum, that, like, no matter how much water you use. So, like, if I wasn't even here the whole month and used no water whatsoever, I'd still be charged that. So it's kind of a flat rate because I almost never go over it, but it is variable after that point, after you use however many gallons that relates to. Internet, $68. Cell phone, I've budgeted 3602 because I think it's gonna be similar to what it was last year. My actual cycle ends on, the 5th, so today is the last day of the cycle. I'll get the bill tomorrow and pay it. Groceries, I've budgeted $300 for. Life insurance, $7.50. That's just a term plan of, like, I don't know, $25,000 or something. Um, Gas, $200. There's my niece's brokerage account is $100, and I actually added a line item in my expenses. I realized when I was calculating how much per month I would be putting in, to my various retirement accounts. So I have an HSA that I'm pretty much just using as a retirement account. I haven't in the past, and the more I think about it, the more I'm just gonna pile money in there and then sort of pay cash for, excuse me, for my expenses. Um, so that's my plan anyway. And so when I look at that and I look at how much I'm putting in my Roth IRA, I'm maxing both of them out, which is going to take like some extra money. I pretty much just do $500 a month for my Roth IRA because for a while that got me to the max. But now the max is $1,000 more. So what I'm basically doing is I can sell some vacation days, and I usually do. So if I sell vacation days, some of the money can go towards that, or any of my like 3 pay months, or my tax return. Like I can use those to kind of top it off. And I did last month, sort of accidentally, but last month I paid an extra 500 in. So anyway, suffice it to say, when I max them out, I have something like $919 and, you know, some odd cents. Um, and I thought, why don't I just make that an even $1,000? So I know that I'm putting $1,000 a month into retirement accounts, and just be done with it. So that is where my brokerage account comes in. So I was like, and I do have one with the goal of like, my ultimate goal was, all right, let me put everything into my sinking funds and get them where I would like them to be. Only have to replace them as I spend out of them. Get my emergency fund up to $20,000. And once that's there, any extra money goes into the brokerage firm or goes into the brokerage account. And I thought, why don't I just start putting it in there? Because my sinking funds, I can just spend less or just choose not to spend some of those things. So, like, who cares if it takes me another month because I'm putting $70, $71, less than $71 a month to them. So I was like, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna give that a shot. So I put that in as a new line item, and $70.83 is not a lot. I would absolutely put more in if I were in a position to put more in. It's just right now that puts me at $1,000 a month into a retirement account of some kind. Or well, investing. I guess a brokerage account is not really a retirement account, but that's how I plan on using it. House and garden, $25, $75 for restaurant, fitness, $40.72. That's just the cost of the gym I go to every month. It's not really a gym. It's a YMCA that has like a pool and other like facilities like that. So that's why it's so expensive. And I really want to swim. It's sort of the best thing for me fitness wise. So I gotta suck it up and pay it. Personal, I kept personal at $150. I would still like to try to go skiing, but it looks like March is seriously warming up. So I don't really know that that's going to happen. And if I come in way under, so be it. Miscellaneous, $50. I feel like you always need a miscellaneous category because you kind of never know. My Roth IRA, $500. And work expenses, I don't really anticipate having any work expenses. So I leave that in there so that when I'm at a conference or something like that, I can total up everything as I spend them so that I can have something to kind of cross-reference with and make sure that like, oh yeah, this is exactly how much I spent. Total expenses, $2,571.93. Pretty excited by that because I think let me just check something here. Burp. All right, you know what? It's just easier this way. So $2,071.93. So really 1971.93. That's almost everything on one paycheck, which is amazing because one of my paychecks is like 1,800 and change. So I'm $100 short of that. And realistically, I have, in case you can't see, I don't really know where I put my thing. This sums it up for me down here, but I included the $100 to my niece's brokerage account, which is not money I need to spend. And neither is really my brokerage account. So I'm pretty close. I'm about, like I said, $100 off from if I take out saving stuff, just how much I'm going to spend from month to month to get by. And that's really with a large personal amount there. So that's exciting. That's my goal is always to live off of one paycheck and then be able to save the other. So I'm glad that I'm getting close to that. All right, so next comes my savings and sinking funds. So as of right now, there's nothing going in the emergency fund. Like I said earlier, my goal is to max out these sinking funds and, well, not max out, but get them to like where those goals are. And then it's just something that over time I realized, like, yeah, this is kind of the right amount to have in there. So basically, some go all the time no matter what. My Nittany Lion Club, this $17, that's I pay it once a year and I just, divvy it out over 12 months and that's that. Same thing with my car insurance. I pay that twice a year, so I just kind of I spread that out. But that will always go in. My Nittany Lion Club will always go in. My subscriptions will always go in. That seems like a lot every month for subscriptions. That's not everything that comes out all the time, but I do spend a lot in subscriptions. They aren't all streaming services, mind you. Some of it is like I do like NordPass and VPN. There is I use this Garmin InReach when I'm hiking, and it's expensive. It's like $30 a year just to renew the service, which is annoying because then on top of that, it's like $15 a month. Like Garmin is I really wish somebody would come out with a cheaper solution because I feel like Garmin is they just, I feel like they price gouge so much, so much. I hate them as a company, but they are, as far as I know right now, the best and most reliable thing out there. And it gives me peace of mind when I'm out in the backcountry. It gives my mother peace of mind when I'm out there. So be it. I don't pay the monthly fee when I'm not out hiking, but it is March. I might actually be turning it back on this month. We'll see. I'll have to see what the rest of the month looks like. Because I really do need to start, like, I might just do a bunch of day hikes and I don't necessarily need it then. But I need to get my tent fixed and test it out a little bit. So I may, by the end of March, be able to go on a hike. And so I'll be turning it on, which is irritating. But it's irritating to spend $15 at the end of the month to turn it on for the month and then get charged the next month for another $15. So yeah. Well, whatever. So anyway, that's not all like streaming services. We actually don't have that many streaming services. And I'm going to get to a point where I paid out for like the whole year for a lot of them. So once they're up, I'm gonna start kind of cycling them and just do like I'll do HBO for a couple months and watch the things I want to watch, and then do like Disney Plus for a couple months and watch those things I want to watch, and just kind of do it that way. Because I don't want to be paying for them all at the same time, especially since you're not really allowed to password share anymore. It's just stupid. And there's nothing really there that I want to watch all that much. Like if I don't have a TV and I don't have any streaming services, like I'll probably get more accomplished in life and I'm not really going to be like that sad about it. So yeah, so I like in the summertime, I probably wouldn't even subscribe to anything because I feel like I'm barely ever home and I'm barely ever watching TV. But anyway, like I said, that's not just streaming services. There's very few streaming services. The rest of it, it's just other stuff like my security cameras and so on. House repair, I'm trying to get that up to $1,000, which it will be at the end of this month if I'm able to put all of that in. My giving fund, I'm also trying to get up to about $1,000, which it will be there if I am able to do it. Car insurance, like I said, $59 will go in there. My gift fund, I am trying to hold at $600, which it will be there if I'm able to put all of that in, which is great. My travel fund, I'm actually looking to put $2,000 in. So this will get me to $765. Not the end of the world. It's kind of it's hard because I like to travel and I like to go away for the weekend and, things like that, which cut into that fund. So I'm not sure I've ever gotten it up to $2,000 because because every time it gets remotely close, I'm like, "Ooh, let's go there and do that," so that is the reality of it. Total going into savings is $1,226.07. Again, I have a zero-based budget, so that means every dollar that comes in has an assignment, whether it's to be spent or saved or invested, doesn't matter. Everything is accounted for. So that is my goal for March. I don't have any like weird expenses that come up in March that I have to really think about. I still escrow all of my taxes and things like that. So this is normally like county tax time in Pennsylvania um, for property taxes. And so I have that, but because I escrow, I just have to send that to the bank. It's not really a big deal. But otherwise, that would be something that I'd have to plan for properly. And it's otherwise just a pretty standard month. And so hopefully I will be able to keep my spending down and put everything where I want to be able to put it in my sinking funds, get those particular ones maxed out, and then I can focus on my travel. Because seriously, like if I'm able to do the same thing next month, I mean, that's $834 that would be able to go to that fund, which would get me to almost $1,600 in that fund. So that would be great. We'll see. We'll see. Things always come up, don't they? But that's also why one of the things I do on my channel is weekly transactions. I found that when I didn't do them, I was spending way more money than I thought I was. And I have to say, we canceled Amazon Prime last month, I think it was out, like the middle of the month, maybe. And it's so nice to have that buffer. But I can still go to Amazon and spend like $35 and get free shipping. But I am way less inclined. There are still things I want to buy. I'm just way less inclined to buy them, and it's kind of exciting. It's a good thing. But yeah. What's your plan for March? Do y'all have anything like weird that has to be bought? Any kind of thing that's putting a wrench in your budget? Are you getting your tax return or your refund? Or are you paying in? I had to do that one year. I had to pay in. So I just kind of put like a little bit aside in January, a little bit in February, a little bit in March, the rest in April. And I was like, okay, because that was a lot of money I wasn't planning on having to pay in. So yeah, a bit crazy. So anyway, that's my March budget. Thanks so much for watching, guys. See you next time.